By the end of the month, most of the major sports leagues in North America are hoping to resume or start their seasons. 3 of those leagues will be doing it in Florida in a bubble scenario. That includes the WNBA. Canada's Kia Nurse just flew to Florida to start her season with the New York Liberty.
Hartley to Nurse, good pass and Nurse finishes.
You are in a state right now where the COVID-19 numbers are skyrocketing. It's a hotbed for COVID-19. What's your level of concern on what's happening around you? I know you're in a bubble situation, but what's your level of concern?
Actually, it's a pretty high level of concern, more than I thought I was going to have when I got here. Obviously, we've been told a lot of different things and had a lot of different discussions about what the bubble is and what it entails. But I've had a higher level of concern and surprise since I've gotten here into what is considered this bubble, I guess. So that's been interesting to be a part of.
Leaves it back for a Nurse 3.
The WNBA has moved all 12 of their teams to the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida to start their shortened 22-game season.
We did our testing right away and then we're sent straight to our room. So we've been quarantined. They deliver us food 3 times a day. And now we're kind of just getting into the swing of testing for the next 2 weeks. And then hopefully we can get on court, I believe, starting at the end of this week.
She has been a clutch young player.
Kia has been playing in the WNBA since 2018 and has represented Canada on multiple occasions. Going into year 3, she's actually one of the vets on her team, with 7 rookies, including first overall draft pick Sabrina Ionescu. She's had the chance to briefly meet with the new rookies in New York before flying to Orlando.
That was fun to kind of get to know some of the rookies. And now, since we're all here, once quarantine is done here, we'll be able to kind of get to see everybody in person and have those conversations and hopefully finally get on the court together. So that will be really exciting.
Kia has been active on social media when it comes to racial and social injustice. Coming up on City News, we speak to her about the unprecedented steps that the WNBA is taking to make sure female victims of police brutality, their names are not forgotten. In just a few weeks, the WNBA, which features Canadian greats such as Kayla Alexander and Kia Nurse, will begin a shortened season in a bubble environment in Florida. They'll be playing during the middle of a pandemic, but also during one of the biggest movements towards racial and social justice.
Leaves it back for a Nurse 3.
You will be wearing a special uniform throughout the season that is part of seeking justice for women and young girls that were victims of police brutality. It's so much more than basketball now. Have you thought about, this powerful message you'll be wearing when you're playing basketball?
Yeah, I think obviously we've had a lot of conversations around social justice and what's going on in the world right now with police brutality and systemic racism. Obviously, it's a lot more in the States in the headlines and the news, but it obviously exists everywhere around the world, including Canada. And I think it's important that the platform that we have and the platform we have as the WNBA, using that for good. And I think what's really interesting about the bubble this year is that there's 144 of us in one place. So we have the ability to amplify our voices, and everybody in our league has a touch in different areas of the world. We have international people, we have people in the States. So I think it'll be really fun for us to obviously bring that message forward.
Up and in.
Kia has represented Canada at the Olympics, the Pan Am Games, and most major basketball events around the world. She has also dedicated her time to help foster young girls to stay in sport. As a role model, she realizes the impact it can have and why she chooses to use it to fight for social and racial justice.
I'm a Black woman. I come from an interracial marriage, and I think I've really been able to see the differences, in where I've played and where I've lived around the world. And I am very grateful to be from Canada. I'm a very proud Canadian, and I see reasons why day after day. But no country's perfect, no place is perfect. And I think what's important is that understanding this is something that affects me on a daily basis. This is something that affects people that I love on a daily basis.
Hartley to Nurse, good pass and Nurse finishes.
Kia would normally spend her season in New York with her team, the New York Liberty. But because of COVID-19, the entire league has moved to play in a bubble-like scenario in Florida.
It's a pretty high level of concern, more than I thought I was going to have when I got here. Obviously, we've been told a lot of different things and had a lot of different discussions about what the bubble is and what it entails. But I've had a higher level of concern and surprise since I've gotten here into what is considered this bubble, I guess. So that's been interesting to be a part of.
The WNBA and the Players Association also launched a new platform called the Justice Movement. It's meant to amplify the players and leaders' voices within the WNBA. For City News in Toronto, I'm Lindsay Dunn.